G'day folks, Ben from Snowy's here today. This is the Oztent Foxwing 270 awning. Gives me coverage on the side and to the rear of my car. I'm going to show you how to set it up and how to pack it away safely today. Let's get started.
Hit it.
We're down here today at the Brownhill Creek Caravan and Holiday Park in Adelaide's leafy eastern suburbs, just 15 minutes from the city, 15 minutes from the beach, and they've kindly lent us some space today so that we can show you how to set up and pack away the Oztent Foxwing 270 awning. I've got it mounted up on the car here. We've got another video on how we mounted it up there, and I may make some modifications on it because it is quite high at the moment, but I can show you today how to set it up with it as it is. Now these are 2.5 meters long. They're about 19 centimeters high and about 12 centimeters deep when they're packed up, and they weigh about 18 kilos. To get started setting it up, the first thing we need to do is remove this PVC tonneau cover off the top of it. So we come around to the rear of the car here, and we've got some Velcro patches here to secure it around the actual bracket. Now this end always sits to the rear of the car. If we had the driver's side awning installed, be on the other side, this has always got to be at the rear. We just remove these Velcro straps from here. There's a large strap at the end, two smaller straps that wrap around the back there. And from here, we can unzip the zip all the way to the front of the car, just being careful not to catch anything as we go, right up to the top. And we can now push the cover, the awning cover, over the back of the awning and out the way. Now, Oztent have quite cleverly included space within this cover and some clips up here to store all of our poles and pegs within the awning here. This bag here is secured by these orange straps that are clips within the awning. There's 3 of them. If we undo those, this bag then folds down. This bag can actually be completely removed if we like. There's 3 more clips on the orange straps here that we can undo and store that in the back of the car. I'm going to leave it hanging there, that way I can't lose the bag. What I am going to do though is take the poles out, which are in this pocket here, and some of the pegs and guy ropes out and get them all ready. So I'll just mention what comes in your kit here with the Oztent. You get your 4 awning poles here, or your 4 upright poles that go on the end of each spar. There's about 14 pegs, and they're good heavy duty pegs. There's 4 guy ropes here, and this strap is what we use to attach the awning or secure it at the far end back to our roof rack. That'll make more sense when I show you how to use it later. So I'm just going to lay the poles and the guy ropes out roughly in position, and then we can start to set the awning up. Now I've got my 4 poles, 4 pegs and 4 guy ropes roughly in position, so I'm not delaying the awning being set up without being secured. Next thing I want to do is grab the strap that came with our kit. Now there's 2 straps that come with your awning. The short one attaches to our awning to secure it back against the car. The long strap actually attaches to our roof rack so we can clip the awning to it. Now where to clip it to on the roof rack on the other side of your car, you just need to make sure you've got enough length for this strap to reach roughly where the awning finishes at the back of the car. So if I've attached this roughly in the middle of my roof rack here, I've got plenty of adjustment to tension the awning once I've got it set up. So we're now ready to start to set the actual awning up. So we've got 2 straps up here that we need to undo to release the fabric on the awning, and that will then unfurl down in front of us there. Just let this sit loose. That's the drain panel. We'll show you what that is later. And then at the end of the awning here, we've got a rubber strap that's holding all the spar arms in place. Now this is just a rubber strap, sits over a plastic lug on the bottom here. We release that, and each of these spar arms sits in their own plastic clip here. So if we release all of those, keep hold of them, these are now ready to swing out. Now, it's at this point that you're most likely to damage your awning, especially if it's windy. Ideally, if it's windy, you want to be able to pull this out to the first point here, put the pole in place while someone else is holding this, and then do the next one and go around. You don't want to leave it set up without any support. It's not too bad here today, so I'm actually going to go all the way around and set this up and put the poles in after, but I will keep a close eye on the wind and what it's doing. So once we're at the back of the car, we grab the strap that we left on our spare wheel here. We can just loop that around the end arm here. And this will now attach to the clip that we secured to our roof rack earlier. A little bit of tension, just so it looks tight. And now I'm going to run around and put all the poles and pegs in place. I don't want to leave the awning unsupported like this for too long. So now I'll work quickly to put these poles into place. I didn't quite line them up, but at least they're roughly where I need them to be. To set these up now, we put the pole up through the eyelet here. They've got a curved top on them to stop them from popping off the top. We pop that in place. We now grab our guy rope, put it over the top and peg it into place. We do that for each one of the poles. And that's our awning all set up and secured. I could adjust the pole height a little bit if I liked, but make sure this strap's tight so that it's tall all the way around. I'm happy with the height as it is at the moment because I can walk comfortably underneath this. And the last thing we need to do is peg this drain panel down. I'll show you how this works. This is actually attached to the point at which the water might run into at the top here. Without this here, there can be a bit of water that drips down, and it would go in the back of the car here if I had the car open. This allows us to kind of channel some of the water away from the car and down the side. If I kind of scoop this around, the water that runs in here will dribble down this fabric. If I come to the bottom down here, Oztent have actually included 2 smaller pegs for this drain panel here, just to put in place here and here. And that way all the water does end up running down the back of the awning there, channels onto the ground and not into my car. Now, in wet weather, this is only really designed to channel a small amount of water, the small amount that does happen to get in here onto the ground. If we put these poles up really high and angled all the water back that way, we'd end up with a very wet area under our awning here. So what we do in wet weather is grab these poles and lower them a little bit on all 4 so that the awning slopes down and away from the car. We then grab the other 4 guy ropes that came with our kit, attach them to these point in the middle of each side and pull the sides down. That then creates a gutter for the water to run into and away from the car. I'll tie them in place and peg them all out. Now there's one other thing that I haven't mentioned yet, and that are these Velcro tabs that feature at each pole. We do these up around the pole, and that just keeps this kind of guard or this storm guard in place or from flapping around and gives us a bit more protection over the top of the zipper when the optional sidewalls are attached. That is our Foxwing 270 awning all set up with the extra guy ropes in place to help the water drain away from the awning in really bad weather. Not that I need it today. That was pretty easy, did it by myself. If it's windy weather, make sure you get help because you don't want to damage the hinges and the poles on your awning. Now pack up is almost as easy. What I'm actually going to do as I pack up is leave all the pegs and poles in place and pull them out as I go. So I'm not ever letting go of these poles here. That way the wind can't catch them and it can't cause any damage as I'm in pack up mode. Now I'm just thinking ahead a little here because as soon as I undo this strap, I don't want to let go of these poles because it's coming up a little bit windy here and I want to hold on to these because I don't want a gust of wind to grab it. So I need to do the things that I can't reach once I've undone this. So I need to unpeg my drain panel and I also need to take the guy ropes out of these central guy points because I'm not going to be able to reach those pegs while I'm holding this. So now I'm going to release our buckle here that's securing our awning to our roof rack. I can leave this end of the strap attached to the awning if I like. And as I go around, I'm just going to drop the awning poles because they can sit on the ground. They're not going to get damaged if they just sit on the ground, but the awning will if a gust of wind catches it. So go around and do this one by one. Now as we go, make sure our spars, as they call them, stack on top of each other neatly, and all this fabric hangs neatly in between. If we do that as we fold it, it's going to make rolling it up so much easier. Once we get up to here, just move our rubber strap out the way and clip each of these back in place. And we secure it all in place with our rubber strap there so they don't go anywhere. Now, folding this up, we need to fold this up into a triangle first. Now, it can be easy without these guy ropes on here because they do tend to flap around a little bit, so this might look a little bit awkward. We fold it up into a triangle like this first, and then we kind of fold it and roll it like this. And we want to get it as tight as we can because it's going to make securing the awning much easier. Now, we grab our straps here, which should line up to the top here. Now, bearing in mind that this tonic or the cover on top here is in a sail track, so it may move. So you need to just make sure these are lined up. So I clip these in place. There's 2 of those. One there, one further to the front. Now this lump here may be a problem with the guy ropes. We'll see how we go. We'll grab our poles and put them in our bag here. And before we secure our bag up here, we've got to take our drain panel and lay it on top. So if we go along here, just unclip this, tuck it in underneath. So it's secure, do that in both locations. And we can then secure our peg and pole bag up against the awning here. It's all in place. If we can try and flatten that out as much as we can, it's going to make putting the cover back on. Now what we need to do is flip the PVC cover back over and carefully do the zip up. As we go, we just need to make sure we're pulling any fabric out of the way so it's not getting caught in the zipper. This corner zip is a little bit awkward, so just ease it around. And hopefully, if we tuck all this up under here, we can get the zip done up the rest of the way. But as I get further along, I think I'm realizing that the guy ropes that I've zipped up inside are going to cause me problems. So I can see this fat section here where all those guy ropes are causing me issues. So I'm actually going to unzip it and just take the guy ropes off, put them in the pocket at the end. So I'll admit removing those guy ropes from the middle here and putting them in my little bag at the end here has made doing this up much easier. A couple of other pointers. This cover is actually just sealed in or just attached via the sail tracks, and I found it moved forward a little bit during the day, so I just needed to pull it right back to make sure it fit neatly. Now this zip doesn't do up really easily. It's firm, it's doable. You just need to make sure you're pushing any fabric in and out the way as you go. But the good thing is that it all packs in there nice and firmly, which is what you want when you're on a rough full drive track. And once we get the zip to the end here, we need to grab these two flaps here, the top one down first, the bottom one can hold the zip in place there, goes up over the top, and then this big flap here seals right over the end. And that's our Foxwing 270 awning from Oztent all packed away. Now, I did that solo today, I didn't have any help. If there was a really windy day, I'd certainly want help, but you can certainly do it by yourself on a breezy day with a bit of thought. I reckon these are a great product. You can pick them up online at snowies.com.au, lowest prices every day of the year. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, don't run away yet. If you thought that video was useful, why not subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest information? Or if you've got any questions, let us know in the comments below. Give us a like, or check out some of our other videos like these ones here.